Hey, hey, Lamont. Record. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Intellectual Chocolate. I'm here, your host today, John Jamerson, and this is where we have intelligent conversations with brilliant Black minds. I'm John Jamerson today, and I'm with Lamont King. Lamont King is a world-renowned comedic on the East Coast. He's a life coach, and he's also going to be a new host here on Intellectual Chocolate. So welcome to Intellectual Chocolate, Lamont King. Give us a little insight about yourself.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate you bringing me on today. Life coach, that's a good one. That's the first one. I don't know if I've ever got that title, but I do coach lives, if you will. I'm originally from the Prince George's County, Maryland area, right outside of DC. Born and raised. I've traveled a lot. I've lived in Detroit, LA, Atlanta.
Okay.
Most recently, I'm in the field of youth development and youth services. I work for the district government in the nation's capital and work parks and recreation. So I'm basically raising other people's kids during the day. And on my side hustle is stand-up comedy. So I'm a touring professional comedian.
All right. So we talked yesterday about a mutual friend that we had that as I was reviewing your profile, one of my homies from Indianapolis that I saw that you knew was a comedic. And what you doing youth development. I was sharing with you how I shared with Michael back in the day that, I thought that he could be in the comedic field. I just didn't think he'd be there as a comedian. So, how do you deal with the youth that you're trying to develop? I shared also about my sons, how they want to be in the NBA. And, me being the tallest of them, being about 5'10", 5'11", told them the chances, not that they couldn't make it, but chances were slim to be out there on the floor as a player. But they, needed to broaden their minds as to the other aspects of, you can be a ref, you can be a coach, you can be a trainer. You can still make it in the NBA. You might not make it in the area that you desire to be in, but you can still make it there. So how would you deal with somebody in the youth?
Well, that's tricky because I deal with it every day in a urban environment, and on one hand, you want to go with the whole, pick your passion. You follow your passion and do that. Don't worry about the money. Money will come, and embrace it and train hard and get better at it. On one hand, you want to cultivate that in young people, but at the same time, I'm a realist, and we Black people in America. So you got to follow that up with, all right, you make sure you have a plan B. Pick your passion, but you're not going to be able to eat off your passion.
Right.
So you got to train up. You got to, the education first and foremost. You got to understand how to create your own opportunities, because there will be times when there's more people competing for opportunity than you could ever imagine. So I start, depending on the age, I have all populations where I work at. So depending on the age, pick a passion, identify it, and try to nurture and cultivate it. But beyond that, I try to enrich and encourage through realness. I try to, like you said, hey, you love basketball, you want to play professionally, but the chances are you may not.
Right.
So you're going to have to, one, deal with that, and two, be prepared to do something else.
Right. Well, that's great. So let us take a brief moment here to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Black Business School. Thanks for tuning in with us today. This is John Jamerson with Intellectual Chocolate, and I'm here with our guest, Lamont King. Please go visit theblackbusinessschool.com for financial literacy and to learn how to grow your business today. I am pleased to be here once again with Lamont King. Lamont King is a youth developer and I call him a life coach. The reason why I said that was because I saw your video on life coaching. So that I like that. I like that flavor you got. He's also a comedic, and he's going to be a future host here on Intellectual Chocolate. So once again, Lamont, tell me, what would you want your legacy to be?
That's always a good question. I always find that interesting because, I feel like I'm always evolving. So it's kind of hard to pick a point and say, like, from now on, if I went right now, I would want to be remembered as such and such, because I'm always building and trying to, create and grow. But if it was like right now, just a person that people always say, I want to change the world, right? So what I've learned in working with the youth population and people in general is you can change the world even by changing one person. And it sounds cliche-ish, but it's the truth, because if you affect one person's or life or impact their arc, you've changed the future. Like, that's a whole new way that the world is going to go. So you may not get 10 people, you may not get 20. I'll give you an example. So I work with young males, a lot of them in the criminal justice system. And, a lot of times I don't necessarily believe that I have the training and the certifications to really be therapeutic and educational and vocational towards them. My biggest thing that I take pride in is the fact that I'm just there.
Right.
Because a lot of them don't even know what a regular black man looks like.
Yeah, that is a lost thing in the world today.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like me just showing up sometimes may impact them in a way where I may not have been a therapist, I may not have been their coach, I may not have been their teacher, instructor, probation officer, or somebody with a specific role. I was just that black dude that was there that time.
Right.
And so years later, they might think of me as the example of what they could and should be like. So to your question, I feel like my legacy is, if I can affect one person and have one person remember me, be like, Mr. Lamont, he was a cool dude. I learned a lot from him. He was chill. He made me help make me into the individual I am today. And then I think I've made a difference. I think I've changed the universe, if you will. Even if it was just one person, because I got at work, I got 20, 30 people that hate me, but then I got one that like really turned the corner, and seeing him turn the corner, that makes me proud.
Right.
So, yeah. So that would be my legacy. If I could influence, impact one life.
Yeah. That and a lot of people don't realize the value in that. My thing is, imagine if you had an opportunity to shape the mind of someone such as the character Willie Lynch, to change his mindset, to say, hey, instead of putting out a formula that would enslave people for 400 years, how about putting out a formula that would empower people and things of that nature. So so that is very profound, because you can be that one element that can change things, and that's I agree with that. It's kind of the way I look at it with telling people, like you said, being realistic about things. Hey, the chances are that you can do this, but also the chances are is that things may happen. You may be 6'6" and 220 pounds and can do everything that Michael Jordan does, but if you happen to go out there and twist your ankle, break something, or get injured, that dream is gone. But that doesn't mean that you can't get there. So yeah, just being able to impact that one person, and there's no telling how they may be able to affect the world. Yeah. So let me ask you, one last question. This is going to be one of my favorites. As a host here on Intellectual Chocolate, what do you think? What do you think your flavor would be, and how you think that you can be beneficial in this area?
I feel like my skill set is being relatable to a wide cross section of people, ages, colors, races, whatever. I'm heavy into. I'm interested in history and activism and pop culture, so I feel like I could bring that to the table to be able to talk to a wide variety of people in a relatable way. So. Whereas, with the conversations that I hope to get into, you can take a lot from it. You can laugh, think, learn, smile, frown, question. You know what I mean? So I like to be all over the place, but at the same time, focused in on directly giving you a nugget or a jewel or a gem that you could take away and use somewhere else. So that's what I look to do.
Well, that's great. That's great. So with that, I'm going to take my hat off to you. And thank you for joining us here on Intellectual Chocolate. Give a shout out to people and let them know where you're going to be at, how to get in contact with you on your comedy thing.
On all social media, I'm at Mr. Lamont King, normal spelling, Mr. LamontKing. My website, kinglamont.com. So see you soon.
All right. And thank you guys for joining us here at Intellectual Chocolate. If you know someone who has something brilliant to say, please sign up at intellectualchocolate.com. This is your host, John Jamerson. I'm with Legacy Taste of the Garden. I am your host here on Intellectual Chocolate. Thank you for joining us.